I'm Stacey Hoppus. Joining me today is Kimberly Stein, Social Services Caseworker for Youth and Social Service Department. Kimberly, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So we're here today to talk about energy assistance programs. What is the first step that a resident would take if they need assistance?
So it's the winter. So generally in the winter time when we talk energy assistance, we're talking heat assistance. People who are in need of help are usually wondering, how am I going to heat my home? So for Wallingford residents, they would call New Opportunities of Greater Meriden.
Okay.
Located on 74 Cambridge Street in Meriden. They would call their number at 203-235-0278 and get an appointment with them.
Okay.
If they have a hardship getting to Meriden, we do have a second option. They can go to the Spanish community of Wallingford, also known as SCOW.
Okay.
And they have a representative from New Opportunities go there once or twice a week and take applications there as well.
Okay.
And their telephone number is 203-265-5866.
Okay.
Third option, if you are 60 and older and a Wallingford resident, you're able to apply at the Wallingford Senior Center, right next door to SCOW, also on Washington Street in Wallingford. And their telephone number is 203-265-7753. So people have a couple of ways to apply, make it easier for them if Meriden is not convenient.
Right, especially for the Spanish community. It's good that they can go directly to the SCOW building because there's certainly people there that can also speak Spanish.
Absolutely, yes. Right. And in Meriden at New Opportunities, they have bilingual people there as well.
Right. And now you said this is for their primary heat source.
Yes. So heat assistance through the state is your primary heat. I hear all the time, well, I need electric to have my furnace work. Totally understand. But your furnace, whether it be gas or oil, pellets, wood, whatever it may be, is your primary heat source. So it needs to apply to people's primary heat source.
Okay. Now, what about eligibility? How would people obtain the assistance?
So it is based on household size and income. It's a sliding scale. You need to be first a Connecticut resident, an American citizen, or a qualified alien. Yeah. And you need to be at or below a certain income level.
Okay.
For the state, it's 60% of state median income. So what that means for a single person, it's about $35,000 a year. Family of four, it's about $67,500.
Okay.
And that's gross income, not what you take home. They're not going to take into consider any deductions. It's going to be your gross income.
Okay.
And then they also look at assets, and it's only assets that are easily converted into cash. So we're looking at bank statements, savings and checking, stocks, CDs, things like that. Not your house, your car. Those are not considered easily converted into cash and not taken into consideration when determining your income eligibility. Right. There is also, in terms of assets, there's a forgiveness. So if you are a renter, they forgive the first $12,000 that you may have in assets. If you're a homeowner, it's $15,000. Okay. So anything above those amounts would be counted as income in determining your eligibility.
Okay. And then what type of documentation do they need to bring with them when they're making their appointments? So
you need income, just like we talked about before. They're going to be looking back 4 weeks from the date that you applied. So they're not looking at your whole year's worth of, you could have worked, let's say if you applied tomorrow, you may have worked another job before and now you're unemployed. So they're not looking at your whole year's income. They're looking at a snapshot of what you need right now because you're in crisis right now.
Right.
So you're going to, if you are employed, they're going to look at your most current last 4 pay stubs if you get paid weekly too, if it's biweekly.
Right.
And then that also includes Social Security income if you're on disability or if you are receiving Social Security, child support, contributions from friends and family. If you have no income, they have a form that you have to fill out there. So you need to first document your income. You have to document your assets. That would be your most current bank statements, your
what if they have like annuity? Yeah.
So it depends on your age.
Okay.
So, and if you're going to get, I think it's 59 and a half and above, if you're 59 and a half and older, then they would count that. They're not going to count your 401ks or your annuities or anything when you're younger. So it depends on your age. But same thing, you're going to need to provide statements for that, most current statements for that. You're also going to need to bring a copy, if you have a utility heated household, so that's electric or gas, natural gas, Eversource, you're going to need it to bring a copy of your bill with you so that they know that it's in your name, because the bill has to be in the name of an adult in the house.
Okay.
If your bill is not in a member of the household's name, you will be denied.
Okay. Now, does that person's name need to be on the deed or the lease or?
Yeah, well, they will ask for lease information, copy of your lease most likely, because that can determine, and that's something I'll talk about later, can determine additional benefits afterwards when they consider your expenses.
Okay.
So so even if you don't heat with electric, say you heat with oil, gas, whatever, you will need a copy of your electric bill as well. Okay. They started that maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. Even if it's not a heat source, they still want to see your electric bill.
Right.
And then they'll also be asking for social security numbers, date of birth for everyone in the household. So it's smart to have that all with you when you go, so you don't have to come back.
Right, and you can get it all taken care of at the same time.
Can get it all taken care of at the same time, exactly.
Right. Now, for the amounts that are awarded, what is that based on?
So it's like I had mentioned before, it's a sliding scale based on household size and income.
Okay.
So it also includes what they call vulnerability. So if you have someone in your house that is under the age of 6, or 6 and under, I should say, 60 or older, or disabled, meaning they receive disability income, not that they just, happen to be sick at the time or anything. It's documented disability. That's considered vulnerable and could potentially make your benefit from the state higher. So the benefit amounts do range every year. They're not, because you have to apply for this program every year. It's not something that you just get re-upped. You need to provide current information, current income, like I said, because it's just a snapshot of the last month before you apply. So they're a little higher, the benefit amounts from last year. This year they range from the lowest amount, meaning you have the highest income, is $340, to the lowest income or vulnerability is $725.
Okay.
And if you're a utility heated customer, that's your benefit. That's what you get. And then usually there maybe are some other programs you can feed into after that directly through the utility company. If you are a deliverable fuel heated customer, meaning oil, pellets, propane, kerosene, then you are eligible for what's called a crisis benefit too. So generally at this time, at how the price per gallon is, you could get, even if you're at the highest income level, you could be looking at multiple deliveries. Now, if you are at the lower income, you get your basic benefit, crisis benefit, and then may be eligible for something called safety net benefits. You would need to call to do that. They may do another assessment, and that's when having your lease information is what they use to help determine whether or not you're eligible for safety net benefits. They look at your income versus expenses.
So people do have a lot of options of what they're available.
Yes, this year really, they're pretty hefty benefits. They could hopefully, if you are energy, conserve your energy, you would be able to get through the heating season with this help. Right. And I should mention, too, that even people who have their heat included in their rent are also eligible for this program. It's just different. Their benefit amounts are less because that money goes directly to them.
Right. Okay. And then, so once they've exhausted all of their state benefits, is there anything else that they can apply for in town or through their electric department?
Yeah, absolutely. If you find yourself, you've received all of your benefits from New Opportunities, they tell you you're not eligible for anything else, I would encourage them to call our office, the Youth and Social Services office, 203-294-2175. There may be some other programs that are available. In the state, there's something called Operation Fuel. Benefit amounts are a little less this year. Funding is more limited, so there's no guarantee that by the time someone exhausts their benefit with the state, funding will be available through Operation Fuel, but it's always worth it to call us.
Right. And then what if you're just having difficulty making your payments, or you've just lost your job, but you don't qualify? Is there any other options so that they just can't pay their current bills?
So electric customers, let's say, if you, in Wallingford, even if you don't heat with electric, if you comes November 1st to May 1st of every year, it's what's called the winter moratorium. And during that time, because it's winter season, if you go to the electric division and you say, I have a hardship in paying my bill, they will have a form for you to fill out that would be a protection for your account just for those months. And careful to say that it is a protection on your account. It is not a forgiveness program. During those months, you still have your usage amounts, you still accrue interest. So I urge anyone who signs that hardship form be aware that they do need to continue to make some kind of effort, some payment on their account, and seek assistance elsewhere, so that come May 1st or May 2nd, you're not slammed with a really big bill and a shut-off notice, and then no winter moratorium to protect you. I would say, too, that they call me out as well at that number at Youth and Social Services if they have any questions. I would urge them to not walk in, because I work by appointment only.
Now for new opportunities, they can do walk-ins there as well, though?
They can, yes. Very good point. They do take walk-ins. So say you're in Meriden and you have all your documentation with you, you didn't call for an appointment, you can always go there and wait.
All right, well, we have about 1 minute left. Is there anything else that you think is very pertinent for the town to know, or?
No, I would say if you just have any questions, to call our office at 203-294-2175. And even if we can't provide you the assistance, we can probably point you in the right direction.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here today. It really has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Again, I am Stacey Hoppus. I'll see you around town.